Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. Last time, we helped this poor soldier out and he gave us a Tintina bar, so let's take a look and see what that does. We have a lot to do today, so I want to get this ball rolling as quickly as I can. And this will recover HP with each step you take on the world map, so yeah, it's nothing too amazing, but it's there. It's decent, I suppose. I've never found it to be useful myself, but if you have, let me know. Okay, so first thing today is we're gonna get Gal to join our party. Oh, stop, that's not a spoiler. He has a portrait, and we got to name him. Of course he's gonna join our party. So first things we want to do is we want to run into him again. And unfortunately I ran into probably the longest battle possible on the belt here, because these guys counterattack. Yeah, you probably noticed that already, that when you kill these guys, they have a chance of counterattacking you, and it's really annoying. If only there was a way we could get around that. If only. So hopefully Gal will show up now. That would be very nice. Game. Balls. Okay, well, I am just going to meet you back here when he does, so I will be right back. Of course, the very next battle. Thank you, game. I appreciate that. Okay, so in order to get Gal to join your party, you need to pick up a... Oh god, where is it? There it is. A dried meat from the item shop. And make sure you use it on Gal. Here, have some jerky, Gal. Snap into a Slim Jim. Huh? What the hell are you doing? Who are you? Oh, okay, he's Cyan. He's 7. Wow. You learned quick. Yeah, this is why you don't feed the animals at the zoo, viewers. Little brat, isn't he? Oh, that's great, 7. You're gonna pick a fight with a 10-year-old kid. That's great. Oh. Oh, Woolsey. Rhyming words and sound effects. Only you can do that. So you think you can dance? Yeah, this scene is always... It struck me as a little odd, but then again, a lot of things in this game do, so I'm not even going to question it anymore. I give up. Thou. Thou, thou. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Kupo, Kupo? No, this is thou, thou. Mr. Thou. Sure, why not? We'll just pick up the random wildebeest child to help us save the world. Oh, but if he's gonna give us a present, then in that case, sure. By the way, Gal is a very unique character. I'm gonna take a few minutes after this scene to go over him and his abilities in detail, because I feel the game doesn't do a good enough job. It's rather complicated if you look at the all the intricate details and things like that, so this will be kind of a tutorial episode for the first part. I do want to try and get as much done today as I can, because we are near the end of 7's scenario, and I really want to get to the next part, because oh, it's just amazing. Besides, we've been dicking around here long enough. What, 3-4 episodes just on Sabin's scenario? Man. I also want to do a few side tasks before we go to the next area, which I'll be doing off screen, of course, but I think it'll be pretty beneficial for what's coming up. That's also why I didn't really buy any. Well, never mind. You'll see. I don't want to spoil anything, viewers. So apparently Gaw has a really shiny treasure. No, I'm not going back there to buy you food. Crescent Mountain. I suppose it's too late to do an Encino Man reference. Oh well. Yeah, I guess I was caught up talking about other stuff and wasn't paying attention to the dialogue. But Sabin has a line, at least I... No, never mind. I'm talking completely out of my ass, viewers. Long day. We're just gonna skip all this. Blah blah blah. Fast forward. Okay. That was the game's tutorial of how Gaw works. Like I said, I don't think they do a very good job. It's very, very brief. It's not very accurate. Well, I mean, it's accurate, but it's very vague. So let's take a look at Gaw and see what we have here. It's pretty good stats, good vigor, decent speed. Although his magic power could be a little better, but we'll worry about that later on. Gaw has the special ability called Rage, and essentially what Gaw is a mix between a blue mage, a berserker, and an animal trainer. I know that sounds really odd, but it's very effective if you know how to use him. As you can see here, he has the ability to basically emulate or mimic these monsters, and he can use their special attacks very often, giving you access to very powerful spells very early in the game. We're talking way earlier than intended. That can be really game-breaking. As you can see by the list, there are a lot of rages he can learn. In fact, there are 255 in the game. However, 3 of them are bugged, and they're not accessible, so don't worry about those 3. I'm not going to go for all the rages because, as you can imagine, it would take a very long time. It is very tedious, much like trying to get all the battle trophies in Star Ocean. But if you want to, you can, although you can be prepared to spend a lot of time here on the Veldt. So basically, how it works is you're in battle, you choose Rage, and you pick a monster. We don't have too many to start with. Let's go with Magitech Armor, why not? And as you can see here, Gaw, for no MP, will use the special ability of that monster. Now, whenever you pick a monster, you go on autopilot. You're kind of like a berserker in this sense, is you can't control Gaw for the rest of the battle. And every time his ATB gauge fills up, he'll either attack or he'll use a special ability of a monster. I believe it's a 50-50 chance. Now, you probably noticed that when he used the Magitech Rage, he started glowing yellow. That's because Magitech armors have auto protect. And whenever you rage a monster, you inherit or you take over their status, as well as their elemental weaknesses and strengths. So you can use that to your advantage against certain bosses. You can pick a rage that absorbs or is strong against an element and be invulnerable to the boss's attacks. Or if you like haste, you can pick one with auto haste, or whatever. Now, like I said, you also inherit their weaknesses, so that's something to keep in mind also when you're picking rages for Gaw. Now, in order to acquire new ones, ooh, perfect. Yes, exactly what I was hoping for. Let's get to Gaw's turn. Thank you. You want to use the leap command. And this is only available when you're fighting on the belt. And as you see here, you leap onto the monster and Gaw will temporarily leave your party. Now, any monster in the battle where you choose leap, he will learn those rages of every monster present, if he doesn't have them already, that is. Now, in order to get Gaw back to your party, just keep fighting random battles, and just like before, when you kill all the enemies, he might show up. It is a 5 in 8 chance of him returning. It's something like 67 or 68%. Okay, he didn't show up this time. Be careful you do not attack him. Just sit around, wait for like 10 or 15 seconds, and then he'll start talking and he'll join your party again. Now Gaw, when he returns, will also learn the rages of any monster present in the battle in which he returns. He will never return if you're in a pincer attack like this, so don't worry about that. If you're fighting multiple battles like I am here, he will not learn the rages of monsters in the battles in between him leaving and him returning. It's only those two battles. So keep that in mind, that you don't learn everything. You only learn the ones that you leap on, which you have direct control over, and the ones he returned from, which you don't quite have control over. Like this one, he'll probably return from. I'm almost positive. Yay! Hey man, how's it going? Now if you smack him before he starts talking, he'll run away, and that's kind of annoying. I don't think it affects him learning rages or anything like that though, so... Now every time he leaves and comes back, you gotta put him in the back row again. Yeah, as you might have noticed, he has no fight command, so there's no reason for him ever to be in the front row, because he'll never be physically attacking. Now let's see if we learned Rodox. Yes, we did. Very nice. And I think we got Beaker. Yeah. Now, the important thing to remember when going after rages is not so much the enemy you're looking for, but more so the enemy formation that a specific monster shows up in. Do we have these guys? No. Sure, why not? We'll get Doberman. Not that I'm ever going to use it. Which is why I took a few minutes to run into those Rodoxes way back in South Figaro. It's why I mentioned enemy formations a few times. Because what the game does, when you enter a random battle, they don't just stick you in a random battle with random monsters. What the game does is, it has... Oh wow, that was quick. It has... Well, it divides the enemy formations into groups, or packs. And each pack has a certain number of enemy formations possible for each given point in the game. And what the game does is, first it picks a pack, say Narsh for example, and then the game will randomly choose a... Do we have bombs? No, we don't. We do now. And what the game does will just say it'll say, okay, you're in a random battle. You're going to fight a monster from pack 1. And then it'll pick an enemy formation that's possible, or that you've already encountered from pack 1. And in the next battle, it'll pick a battle from pack 2. And so on and so forth, all the way down the line. If you are not eligible to get into a random battle from a certain pack, the game will move on to the next one, and so on and so forth, until it finds one that you are eligible for, and thus your random battle will ensue. So you can kind of use that as kind of a guide as to what kind of enemies you may or may not run into next. Now you might be asking yourselves, well, how am I supposed to know which enemy formations belong to each pack? In the video description, you will see a link I provided to a very, very, very in-depth guide to rages and Gaw and how it all works. It is very in-depth, very good. It also lists all of the Sorry, I had a slight interruption there. Yeah, the guide also lists all of... Do we have whispers? Yes, okay. So let's show off one of these. Well, he's flying, so that won't work. Don't want to use bomb, because he'll probably use his kamikaze attack. You know what? Let's use bow mammoth. Maybe we'll get blizzard to work. Hooray! But anyways, the guide, it also lists all of the enemy formations possible in each pack. So if you really want to, you know, cross-reference that and kind of plan out things and intricate details, you can. Again, I'm not going to because, you know, it's a lot of work. And to be quite honest, I was never too fond of Gaw. In fact, do we have commanders? Sorry, I keep asking that question. I'm just doing these to pass time. I'm not really interested in learning any of these rages other than Rodox. There is one in specific I am going to be going for off-screen. But again, if you want to get all the rages, that's a really good way to keep track of where you are and plan things out a little bit. The guide also lists all of the enemies' attributes, elemental weaknesses, whatever statuses they come with, things like that. I believe it also lists all of their special attacks that Gaw has a chance of performing while under that rage. So again, it is a very good guide, tons of information there. If you want to take the time to really study it and put it to use, Gaw can be an amazing character. But like I said, I'm not going to be going into that much detail with him. I'm just going to pick up a few of the rages that I think are most beneficial for right now. I will be using Gaw in an upcoming area, which is something I normally don't do. But for the sake of this LP, I thought I'd mix things up a little bit, give him showtime. I know Gaw has a lot of fans out there because he is indeed quite powerful. I believe that's all of the basics for Rage and Leap and how that works. Oh, whoops. I should have put in a command there. Man, I'm failing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now off-screen is whenever Gaw gets back, I'm going to go after a specific rage for him. And I also wanted to run into a specific enemy. And hopefully that doesn't take too long. But either way, it's going to be done off-camera, so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me fiddle around with this forever. So I'm going to take care of that, and then I will meet you back here momentarily. Hey guys, this is something that I was not expecting. Yeah, very little known fact about Final Fantasy VI is that this game has limit breaks. Yes, even before Final Fantasy VII. Now, this happened to me while I was looking for that particular enemy I mentioned before the quick break there. And I had to show this to you guys. I was not expecting this at all. This is it's very hard to trigger the limit breaks in this game. First of all, you have to be in critical HP. You can tell when you're in critical because your character will be kneeling down, as you see Cyan doing there. Also, if you go to cure them or use an item on them or something, it'll say near fatal on the screen, somewhere on the left-hand side next to their name and stuff. It'll say near fatal. That's how you know you're in critical state. Basically what you do is, when you're in that critical state, you choose the fight command. And you have I think it's a 1 in 16 or a 1 in 32 chance of activating a special attack. Very powerful attack. Each character has their own unique limit break. In this case, Cyan's is called Backblade. And I was able to pause it just in time because I really wanted to show you guys a limit break. I planned on doing this later, maybe doing a demonstration video like I did with the combo attacks in my Phantasy Star 4 Let's Play. So I'm going to let this play out now, and let me know what you guys think of showing you all the limit breaks and what you think of them. I'm not sure how this is going to work out now at this point in the game. It may not be as impressive as I'm making it out to be, but trust me, they're pretty cool. So, without further ado, this is Cyan's Limit Break Backblade. Wow, yeah, that's really good damage. 2,000 damage at level, what level is he? At level 14. That is amazing. Oh, baby, just imagine that, like, not even at the end game. Imagine, like, midway through, that would do, like, 4, 5, maybe even 6,000 damage. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like those. Like I said, each character has their own unique limit break, and if I get enough responses, or maybe I'll just do it anyways because I think they look cool, I'll do a demonstration video showing off all of these limit breaks in this game. There are 2 characters that do not have limit breaks. Those are Gaw, because he doesn't have a fight command, and another character. I'm not going to spoil who that is. If you've played the game before, you can probably guess who it is. He's a certain hairy individual, if you will. Unfortunately, though, this video is already going on 20 minutes, and I don't want to squeeze in the rest of 7 scenario in here because it'll end up being way too long. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to do everything in one video like I had planned. But I do want to try to get Gaw back really quickly. I did get all of the rages I was going for, so that's good. I just haven't acquired, or I haven't ran into that one. Oh, jeez. This is potentially very bad. Don't do this to me. Oh god. Fuck! Such is the way of things, guys. Well, I guess I don't have a choice now. When we come back next time, I will have reloaded my game and reacquired all of those rages because I did not save. Oh man, that blows. So yeah, we'll call this a video here because I just got annihilated. Well, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.